This week's episode, I look out a porthole, Renaissance is punching through some waves and wind, and my crew do flare training. And I'm Doug. Hey everybody, I'm Captain Douglas Meyer, and that's right, I legally changed my first name to Captain, so now even when I retire from yachting, you still have to call me Captain. It's on my driver's license, it's on my business cards, I'm even going to put it on my letterhead. So anyway, what we're going to do this week is talk about boats are changing location and getting ready for their summer season, whether they're in the Caribbean, whether they're in Florida, Bahamas, or whatever. Usually this is a time where everybody scatters and goes somewhere else. So I'm going to hit some highlights on what to do and what not to do while this is happening. So go ahead, Georgia, roll it. Okay, first off, I got to warn you guys. First of all, if you're in the Caribbean and you're going to the Mediterranean, you got a problem. If you're in the Caribbean, Bahamas, or Florida, and you're going to New England, y'all got a problem too. And I'm going to explain. We've got a real problem in the Atlantic, and as you guys are transiting, you have to keep out for this. On the East Coast, there is a whale speed zone. Now, I'm not going to give you the dates because I don't want someone watching this video later on down the road go, oh. All I'm saying is anytime you are transiting the East Coast of the United States, the Western North Atlantic, you have to slow down in the whale speed zones. Apparently, whales can go as fast as they want, but when it comes to a boat, we need to slow down. This is no joke. You're going to get fined. I have a captain friend. Last fall was coming down. He got fined $15,000 because he was doing 11 knots in a 10-knot zone. The owners of the boat said, that's like a speeding ticket. It's not our problem. It's yours. He's going to have to, he's fighting it, but he's going to have to end up paying $15,000. That is a big deal. All right. I don't know. That's for a whole nother episode. Who should end up paying this fine? But frankly, I'm putting it this way. If you rent a car or if you're hired to drive a truck and you get a speeding ticket, I'm not sure if the truck owner pays the ticket or the driver does. Maybe you guys can tell me. Anyway, fact of the matter is he's paying $15,000. So you guys got to watch out for that anytime you're on the East Coast of the United States. Over to the Mediterranean. Some of the boats are going to the Med. We got another problem over there, again with whales. I don't know what's going on. Orcas have formed a coalition. They have been training up themselves, the younger ones, to actually attack boats. Now, I know you guys are saying this is a joke. It's no joke. There have been a lot of boats sank by a rebel gang of orcas near Spain and Azores and stuff like that. In fact, the matter is, last November, that's what, 5 months ago, 5 months ago, a boat sank in the Straits of Gibraltar after a orca attack. This is real. The whales are fighting back, and whales are pretty smart. Yeah, they're smart enough to train themselves up. I don't know what they have planned next, but you've got to keep an eye out. So basically, anywhere in the North Atlantic, you're going to have a whale of a problem. All right, moving along. So now you're in transit, and you want to move north, or you want to move east, you want to do whatever. There's a couple of things that, first of all, you need to do. You need to check your air conditioning because I don't care what you say. No AC on a boat sucks. And the people who do that is Elite AC. They do marine air. They do everything. It is just simply awesome. You need to contact these guys. They did a fabulous job on my boat. Highly recommend. And then, of course, you need a boat. And when you need a boat, you should go call Hargrave Custom Yachts, even if you're a captain. All right. So, hey, boss, you want a boat? Let's go. Just at least go look at Hargrave and see what they have to offer because every boat they do is custom. It's insane. Okay, there's a couple of things you need to do before you do your transit, and it's easier to do it when you are in your home port or whatever. It's obviously you have to sit down and train the crew. You have to provision the boat. You have to make sure you have enough spares. But the fact of the matter is the crew are the most important mechanism in this, and you've got to make sure they're trained. What's that mean? It means you've got to have somebody on the boat. If you're putting them up on the bridge and the boat is underway, that they should be completely qualified to do that job. They should be, even if you're private, they should have a license of some sort so that they know the basic rules of the road. And then you should also train the crew to operate all the gear. One thing that I always seen on the yachts is, okay, we're getting underway. Well, what's that? That's the radar. Go figure it out. No, you should sit down and then you should train the crew on bridge operations. It's harder to do underway because everybody's got different schedules, but I think a lot of people skip over that, and I think it's very, very important. I mean, I'm serious. The last thing you want to do as a captain is be sleeping down below and get T-boned by a freighter or almost by a freighter, which almost happened to me. So you want to be able to sleep knowing that the guys upstairs know what's going on. Second thing, Often overlooked, flood the villages. I know that sounds weird, right? I want you guys to put water in the village and run the pumps. It's one thing flipping the switch on going, yeah, they run, but sometimes the flapper, sometimes valve, rubber valves or whatever, sometimes it just doesn't pump. It just doesn't work. So you really got to put water in there. And I go so far as I go to a higher level, especially in the engine room, and then I check to see if the high water alarms. There's one thing, a modern yacht's not going to be taking on water, but at 4 a.m. when you got a high water alarm going off, and it could be something stupid like a shower sump, it really sucks to be dealing with that in the middle of the night. So you should always leave port knowing that all your bilge pumps work and your fire extinguishers are in service and all that. So the next thing you should do, and this is something a lot of crew don't do, is if you're leaving your home port for 6 months, what is this? What is that? This is a crew card that I give the crew, and I'm going to explain why. Because let's say you pull into Newport, or you pull into Antibes or something. Now, a lot of your crew this might be their first trip. Everybody's got a phone. They're walking down the street and they get T-boned by a car and they break their leg and they're unconscious. They're sitting in a hospital. How does the people know that they're on the boat? Nobody knows. I mean, they can't open up this person's phone and go, oh, Captain Doug, let's call him. Basically, you're in a foreign port. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows what boat you belong to. And they can't open your phone. There's no way to contact anybody. You know, they're going to look at their license and go, guys from Ohio, what's that mean? If you give the crew this card, okay, put that in your wallet. It's basically a card that says Motor Yacht Renaissance Crew Identification Card. It has my phone number on the back and it has our office phone number on the back. So if something happens to my crew member, they open up their wallet and goes, oh, this guy's on Renaissance. Renaissance is probably down in the harbor. It doesn't even matter. My phone number's right there. I get a phone call 2 a.m. And this happened, all right? Except crew member was in jail and I didn't really want that phone call. But yeah, this is cheap. It's like $2 each for each crew member. Even get blank ones without their photo on it. So I would do all that. By the way, you got to, wait, this is super cool. This is Waiakea. This is bottled in Hawaii. And the big wigs over at Waiakea said, hey, if you drink Waiakea on the show, we'll give you as much Waiakea as you want. So here we go. It's really cool. By the way, Waiakea will deliver to the boat. They'll deliver anywhere in the world. That's how they do it. And it's from Hawaii. It's pretty good. Okay, now that you're underway, and go ahead, Georgia, roll the standard looking out the porthole underway shot. Yep, that's it. That's the water going by, because that's what you're going to see outside your cabin unless you're up on the bridge. A lot of crew are new to the boat, perhaps. A lot of times crew are like, oh, you know. But I really believe that you should take the time while you're underway to train the crew. There's a lot of training you can do that you can't do dockside. That's that simple. And pending weather, I think flare training is good. Here's a photo of my crew shooting off the flares, and we do this on a regular basis when we're offshore. Now, obviously, you have to make a security call and let the people around you know that it's just training. And I normally do this during the day because flares at night get a little bit more confusing for the people around you. So flare during the day is not going to cause major chaos, especially if you make an announcement that you're training. By the way, speaking of training, MPT. Come on, guys. Come on. You really want to go training, go to MPT. I mean, it's literally one school, unlimited possibilities, and it'll teach you how to use a flare gun. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, if you're really in trouble or if you're offshore and you just want to watch TV, you're going to need Marine Data Solutions. They've got this new thing I'm putting on Renaissance that blends everything in from Starlink to cellular, seamless internet. I'm putting a new system on the boat, and I'm like, hey, can I pick up a phone and make a call? Absolutely. So I'm going to report back on that, but that's pretty cool. So anyway, definitely do training, especially flare training. Another thing that I do underway, because I'm underway for about 4 days. When I leave Lauderdale, I pull in the Newport or Boston in 3.5 or 4 days. I don't stop. If I do stop, because maybe I'm burning a little bit more fuel, I'm in and I'm out 3 hours later. This is not party central. This is let's get the boat north. So everybody gets in a routine, but another part of training that is very beneficial that you can only do underway is man overboard, collision, you do bridge op training. I try and do about an hour a day, and that's not a lot. I do it when most of the crew are up because of their sleep schedule. but it's really invaluable, especially man overboard, especially collision. You can't do this on the dock. So I strongly recommend that you utilize this time. We are not on vacation to do some training. You're going to arrive. I always find that my crew, when we arrive at our area for the season, feel better about themselves because we're all trained up. We just pulled in. We just did 1,500 mile trip, and we've been doing training just like the big ships do underway. And it gives them a little bit more confidence, especially the guys that are standing as bridge watch officers. I use that term loosely. But if you get them trained up too, they're going to go into the season. The whole crew's going to go into the season with a much better attitude. I swear to God, I see it happen every year. So I think that you should utilize this time transiting to the benefit of the boat. And I'm not talking about 8 hours a day. We're talking about an hour and a half a day. I do underway firefighting, by the way, which is awesome because when we do it dockside, I'm like, you're on the bridge driving it. But if you're really doing it, the crew are like, it really helps them. I can't stress this enough. And by the way, we're all there getting paid. This is a job. This isn't a pleasure cruise. Now, of course, you're going to run into bad weather, and I strongly recommend that as captains, or if you're mate, or if you're the watch officer, you're up there for 4 hours or so, I would always keep an idea of where what I call my bailout is. If something goes wrong, I need to know where I can pull in. And Renaissance, when we go north, we can't just pull in any old place. I mean, especially at night, especially without local knowledge, I kind of stick to the big shipping ports, which are very well lit. So when you're doing this trip, always keep in the back of your mind that I can't really get in anywhere until XYZ. I would never go into an inlet in Cape Hatteras. When I'm off Cape Hatteras, I know my next place is Norfolk, Virginia. I plan that for the weather, but what I'm saying is you should plan it in the back of your mind if there was an issue. How far are you away from getting in because of a medical emergency, because of a casualty? You just got to keep those mental notes. And after you do this for years and years, you're going to go, okay, that's it. But it's always good to keep sharp. Okay, and by the way, while you're offshore, make sure you have enough supplies. And one of those, of course, is oil. And marine fluid analysis can make sure that your engines are running. And I would probably get an oil analysis before I head offshore just to get an idea of how the engines are and the health of them. It's very cheap. It's much cheaper than $250,000, $300,000 to replace the engine. So please check those guys out. Marine fluid analysis powered by AMSOIL. I guess in closing, you've got to just utilize your time offshore to the best of your ability. A lot of times, a lot of these crew these days don't even go offshore, so use this as a training experience. I want you guys to have a great summer season. For the guys that have already left, I know some boats have. Some boats are prepping. It's very exciting. I'm jealous. I'm supposed to be up in New England, but I'm going to be down here. And I think that, just do the best you can. I hope you guys have a great season. I'll still be around. And I guess that's it. So, hey, I'll see you next week.